whole life. People in my family like to say this a lot to one another, but what we see depends mainly on what we look for. So the guy who wrote this quote actually wrote a little story about it that I'll read to you real quick. It said, "There once was an elderly and wise gentleman who lived in a village. He would often spend his days sitting in the shade of a big tree in the center of the village, reading books and talking to passers-by. One day a traveler came upon his village and stopped and said, 'Old man, I've been traveling across the countryside. I've seen many things and met many people. Can you tell me what kind of people I will find in your village?' The elderly gentleman looked up at him and replied, 'Certainly I can, but first tell me what type of people you found on your search so far.' The traveler scowled and said, 'Old man, I have met people who cheat, steal, and aren't kind to strangers, people who don't look out for one another.' The elderly gentleman looked up at him with a faint look of sadness in his eyes and said, 'Oh, my friend, those are exactly the type of people you will find in my village.' The traveler kicked dirt under his feet, scoffed, and marched off towards the next village. By and by, as the elderly gentleman continued to enjoy his day, another traveler came along walking through the village. Once again, the traveler stopped and asked, 'Please, kind sir, I've been traveling across the countryside, and I've seen many things and met many people. Can you tell me what type of people I will find in your village?' The elderly gentleman again asked this person, 'Certainly I can, but first tell me what kind of people you found in your travels.' This traveler replied, 'I have found people who are kind and welcoming of strangers, people who care for one another, and people who love. These are the people I've met in my travels.' The elderly gentleman looked up with the faintest smile in his eyes and said, 'My friend, those are exactly the type of people you will find in my village.' Because what we see is what we actually get, right? I have people who say all the time, we've all heard, 'I will believe it when I can see it.' You actually need to see it, or else, the other way around, sorry. But when you believe something, you can actually see it. This is what we have to do. What I think of as a car business isn't all about the numbers and all about the metrics and how long our cars have been in inventory and how many leads we got and what our closing rate is. It's what we do with our people, right? Tammy LeBlau, who was here yesterday, I've seen her speak many times. The reason that she's great is because she gets that. She invests in her people, right? She's in a small